everybody, this is Pastor Bonnie, and I haven't done one of these videos for quite a while, so I'm really looking forward to spending some time with you guys today. And sorry for bumping it. I have a new studio set up, which I'm really excited about. And today we're going to work on something just really simple. I've been in the mood to do a white birch tutorial. I love to do white birches. We're going to be using palette knives and paintbrushes, and it's just so much fun and so enjoyable. So I'm going to show you the colors we're going to be using to do the background. We have primary blue, and we have princess purple, and we have Atlantis, and we have, that's the same one, princess purple. And then I'll show you guys, I love this little, so I bought this at Walmart, and it has all the colors that I love to use. So it's just really inexpensive. I think I paid $7 for that. So we're gonna start off with the background. So we're just gonna put little dots of color. And then what I'll do, I'll pause it in between so it won't be so long, and I'll show you it after I get the dots. So here you can see it, there's just the dots of color on it. And then we're gonna take, I like this, just this nice little rounded brush. I'm gonna turn it this way because I'm left-handed and it's a little bit harder to do it the other way. But we're just gonna drag the paint across, and I'll probably water it down in a minute here. We're just gonna get all the paint on here. So pretty, isn't it, you guys? And you can see it's just quick and easy and just not a hard thing to do. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. And to be honest, I don't even know myself what this is going to look like. That's half the fun. I just love spending the time with you guys, and I hope you guys have had a great summer. It's been super hot. Where I'm living out in the Midwest, it's been like 107 degrees. A terrible heat this year. And then we actually had a bout of COVID in June. My husband and I got it, and my daughter and my grandkids were staying with us, and they all got it. But fortunately, we kind of had a mild case. So I hope all of you have had an easy summer too this year, and I hope if you got it, you got a mild case. It's just been rough, hasn't it, for the last few years. See how beautiful that is, you guys? I just love it. It's just really soft, lovely palette. And so what's so cool with acrylic painting, you start, it's like layer upon layer. So we start with the background. I'm gonna let this dry. I've actually got a pottery studio, so I have some pottery that needs to get done. So I'm gonna go back and forth between it all day long, but I'll be walking you through it step by step, and we'll be back. Well, it looks like it's nice and dry. I just really love the colors. It's so fun for them to be muted. And so the next part, we're gonna work on the trees, and we're gonna be using modeling paste. And then this is just white acrylic paint and black. And what I'm gonna do is make some gray, but I'm gonna keep stopping the video, you guys, just so it won't be so long, because then you won't have to waste time watching me mix them. So I'll be right back. My mind, I'm gonna show you. So you see, I'm gonna use a paper plate, and then this stuff is just really thick. And I absolutely love working with this because I love to do the palette knife technique, and it's super fun and super easy. So what we're gonna do, I'll put this on here so you can see it. I'm gonna put just a little hint of black, and then we're gonna do the white. And I'll show you here if I can get the white. There we go. So while I was waiting for this to dry, I did my least favorite. I cleaned the fish tank. The two things I hate doing is the fish tank and the cat box. Ugh. But my poor fish were needing it, so you can see this almost looks like cake flour or cake frosting. And I'm going to use all of it because I know we're going to need it. The modeling paste will pick up whatever the color is that you're working with, so it's really cool to use. So we'll just do a little bit. And we're going to do this in steps, but I have a joy spending time with you. It's just always does my heart good. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having a great summer. And, you know, there's a lot of worry and consternation. I think everything is slow and you have to wait on postage and wait on supplies and the shelves get bare. So I think everybody's just a little nervous, and rightfully so. So this painting is just relaxing. It takes your mind off stuff. Okay, so I think we've got this. And I'm not quite sure which I'm going to be using. These are my palette knives. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're about $5 or $6 a piece. And then what we're going to do, we're going to start in the middle. And I'm randomly going to put the trees on here. So what we want to do is you scoop some of this and you just start at the top. And sorry, I have to turn it, you guys, because I'm lefty, but and you just drag it down. So this one's going to be kind of fat. But I just love working with the texture with this. It's just such a fun technique. And like I said, there's no right or wrong. Your trees are going to look totally different than mine. And that's the whole point. But like I said, I just wanted to give you guys something fun and relaxing to do. Take your mind off stuff for a while. Me too. But I have the day off, so I'm thoroughly enjoying being home, and my new studio is working out great, and I hope to get back into doing more of these videos. So I'm kind of just playing with it. I would like to get some that are smaller, so we're going to use this one. It's quite a bit smaller. And we'll start over here. And they're not always straight, these trees. If you guys have ever been in the forest, I love white birches. And I actually grew up in New England, where the white birches are really prevalent. They're just a beautiful tree. So this one's going to come out fat too. So I guess I'm going to have some big ones. But they don't have to be necessarily perfectly straight. So let's try this one. See if this one works a little better. But when I grew up as a little girl, they used to tell us that the Indians who lived where we were, we had Abenaki Indians that were prevalent in the part of the country where we were. They would peel the bark off the trees and use it as paper, which I thought was kind of cool. So we have our two big fat ones, and I think I'm going to make a skinny one with a paintbrush. Actually, so we're going to put some branches on them. So you can use paintbrushes, and you can use your palette knife till you get it the way you want it. Let's do one over here. But one of my favorite things when I was a little girl, I used to take we had this little dog that was a part Pekingese and part Chihuahua, and he was the meanest dog you could ever imagine. I have a funny story, and it probably wasn't funny to the guy who it happened to, but this guy came over to the house and the dog did not like him. So the man was walking up the cellar stairs, and Bud, who is half Pekingese and half Chihuahua, took a flying leap and muckled onto his behind. The dog was literally hanging off the guy's behind. So my dad didn't laugh until after the guy left, and then he had a good laugh. But sadly, he was not a nice little puppy. And he bit people, so that was like a long time ago. So nowadays, people wouldn't put up with that, but back in the day, they did. But anyway, I used to take Bud with me, and I would go tromping through the woods, and I always was worried about running into bears and stuff like that, and he would bark. So he and I were buddies. He lived to be very old. My grandmother took him, and she just spoiled him rotten, even in spite of how rotten he was. But I've always had a love for animals. They bring so much joy, don't they? And right now we have two little dachshunds. They're minis. One of them, they're both, well, they weigh about probably 8 to 10 pounds each. So they're like regular dachshunds, but half the size. It's just fun. We just have a good time with them, but they're super intelligent. We've just been amazed at how intelligent these two dogs are. So one is Bailey, she's 2, and then Addie is her sister, and Addie is 1. She's actually Adeline, but we call her Addie. And Bailey is willful. She won't come unless it's her idea. We have to bribe her with food, and then she'll come running. So you can see, guys, I'm just adding the texture. And the fun part, I always say this in my videos, but acrylic painting is just so much fun because it's all about adding the layers to each part that you're working on. So this part you saw, we started with the background, and now we're working on the trees. And I'm actually going to put I want to put purple flowers in here and maybe some greens back here and yellow leaves. It's going to have a lot of color, but I honestly have no clue what it's going to look like. And that's half the fun, because I have just as much fun with you working on them. So this is just a little fine tip brush that I'm using so I can put some branches in. And you can see, I'll show you, it's very thick to work with, but that's what I want. I want the texture. And trees are so much fun because they're, they bend and they're not perfect, and I just love to paint trees. They're honestly one of my favorite things to do. And I think what I'm gonna I want to water this down a little bit so I can get just a normal little branch. They're going to be hidden anyway with the leaves, but I wanted to get a few branches. I always tell you guys I'm an ordained minister, so if you have any prayer requests, you can reach me at angelcare6@yahoo.com, and that's ANG like George, EL care6@yahoo. And I do have people who often will reach out. I had a mom reach out with a really specific prayer request for her son, and I was so honored to pray for him. And I just, honestly love you guys. I mean that from my heart. This is the ministry God has given me, so you are more than welcome to reach out for prayer anytime. You can find me at Dragonfly Corners at Etsy.com. That's where I put all my paintings and pottery, but you can also message me. So you don't have to buy anything to message me on the website. And I have books and journals and all kinds of fun stuff on there. A lot of times these pictures I put on the cover of my journals. So some of the journals have blank pages in them. Some of them have beautiful poetry that the Lord's given me. So I just think that looks really cool. What do you think? I think I'll put like one more though, right here. It's kind of a little guy. So what we're gonna do, I'm having fun because I'm letting this dry between I'm off today. I work for Apple, which I love my job. It's an at-home job. And I have a pottery studio and I do that on the side. So I have the best life ever. And I'm gonna work on some pottery while I wait for this to dry. And then I like to film it in between. But it's so much fun spending time with you. There we go. I think I'm gonna leave it for now. We'll come back when it's dry.